Hola chicos, bienvenidos de nuevo al canal. Estamos aquí con las predicciones para UFC 306 Malley vs Dvalishvili. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and we are here with the predictions for UFC 306 Malley vs Dvalishvili. And in the spirit of UFC Noche, in the spirit of Mexican Independence Day card, I thought I'd bust out the Spanish, which I definitely didn't use the Google Translate for. But yeah, I'm officially Spanish, so yeah. But anyway, let's get started with the video. These are the picks for UFC 306. 10 fight card, solid card. Dana's fucking once in a lifetime event. Has Ode Osbourne on the main card of a pay-per-view, which is very interesting. But regardless, it's a solid card. It's going to be fun. The Mexicans are going to have some good scraps. It's going to be a good laugh. Or not good laugh. It's going to be a good watch, I should say. But yeah, full card predictions. Let's get into it. Fucking, you know what it is. This is the most cooked start to a video. Anyway, let's get started. La primera pelea en la cartelera es Raul Rosas Jr. contra Chilean. I'm just gonna make this an ongoing thing and speak Spanish at the start of each of these segments. But the first fight on the card is Raul Rosas Jr. against Chilean. Raul Rosas coming in as the minus 800 favorite. Look, I'm not a big fan of making Raul Rosas Jr. a big favorite because I'm still not convinced that he's just the best fucking thing to ever exist. I think Raul Rosas Jr. is very good. He's a very talented fighter. But I just don't think at 19 years of age you can be putting this guy as a minus fucking 800 favorite against anyone. But I'm going to pick him to win pretty clearly. Like, he'll get a submission. I'm picking a lot of fucking Mexicans here, spoiler. A lot of Mexicans are favorites, so yeah, I'm probably going to pick mostly favorites on the card, sorry. But there's a lot of close odds, as you'll see. But yeah, I'm going to be picking Raul Rosas Jr. Meep. He should get the win. He's a really good grappler. Chilean, if I look up his record right now, I'm pretty confident I'll see some stinky losses. And also, let me just say, Raul Rosas losing to C-Rod when he had a 5-pound weight advantage is, like, Raul Rosas is kind of undersized, or like he's under strength because he's just not fully developed against a lot of guys. But it's even worse when the guy misses weight. But like, Chilean is 25-11. Coming off a no contest against Marcos where he was just getting his ass beat. Beat Johnny Munoz Jr., cool. Lost to Ayman Zahabi by KO in a minute, bad look. He beat Jay Perrin. Raul Rosas beat Jay Perrin and subbed him in the first. He lost to Cody Durden and Jeff Molina. You should not be losing to Jeff Molina unless it's in a fucking gay contest. And then like other losses back in the day. But like in the UFC, who's he beating that's good? Cameron Else, Jay Perrin, and Johnny Munoz Jr. Those are his UFC wins. I don't rate them. Raul Rosas should get it done pretty comfortably. But let's move on to the next matchup. He's got the grappling advantage. He's got, in my opinion, I don't even think Chilean is going to beat him that badly on the feet, to be honest. But yeah, let's move on to the next fight. Que se joda Edgar Chairez y que soda el cartel. Fuck you, Edgar Chairez. You're not beating my pookie Josh Van, bro. He's winning, trust. Josh Van's getting the dub. Joshua Van versus Edgar Chairez. Look, this is a competitive fight. Van stepping in on short notice, which is why I'm a bit worried. And my prediction for the rest of the card is basically just all Mexicans. So, I am worried, but I do think Josh Van might be the guy to buck the trend of just the Mexicans winning. If there's going to be one Mexican to lose, I think it's going to be Edgar Chairez. I don't think this guy's like that dedicated to MMA, to be honest. I think this guy's like a full-time cartel member, part-time fighter. If you're wondering what I said fuck Edgar Chairez and fuck the cartel. So, yeah, I'm not going to Mexico anytime soon, boys. But, anyway, I do think Josh Van is genuinely better, and I think he should win as long as he just isn't too affected by that KO from Charles Johnson, which he could be, because that was a pretty bad fucking knockout, and it was 2 months ago. It was in July, and he's going to be taking this fight exactly 2 months after. Mind you, he then has to be in sparring, also taking damage there, probably. So I am worried, and at his young age as well, I'm worried that his chin just might not recover as well, and he might not be taking shots. But Edgar Chairez is not really a KO guy. He's not really a guy who's knocking people out. He's got submissions. He's a crafty grappler, alright? He's a crafty grappler. But I don't know. I just don't rate him that highly. Like, he beat, what's his name? That fucking guy that loses to everyone at flyweight. What's his name? The Brazilian guy. Daniel Lacerda, I think is his name. Let me just find Edgar Chairez's record, because I'm pretty sure he's 11-5. Bit of a stinky record. 4 KO wins, 7 submissions, never gone to a decision. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes if he gets extended here. But, like, beat Daniel Lacerda, Daniel Da Silva, whatever his name is. No contest before that he was going to win, but he sucks. He took Tyra to a decision, which is good. But Tyra's not much of a striker, more of a grappler, and Chairez has good enough grappling to make that work. But, like, Fourth round submission over Gianni Di Chiara Vasquez, who's a 10-5 opponent. Like before that, we're looking at a submission over Roberto Guerrero, who's 6-10, record-wise, 39-year-old fighter. Like, I don't think he's beaten anyone good. He has a loss on his record to Jesus Aguilar in the 5th round by guillotine. I know Jesus Aguilar, he has a loss to Clayton Carpenter as well on the Contender Series, who's also in the UFC. But apart from that, there's just no recognizable names on his record. And yeah, he's getting a lot of submissions, winning submissions. But when he loses, it's usually by decision. 3 of his losses by decision, 2 by submission. He's never been KO'd, so I don't think Van's going to finish him. I think Van's going to win a decision. Van's 10-2. That loss to Charles Johnson's really tough, though. Like, he was winning that fight, in my opinion. He was looking good. Charles Johnson just awkwardly fucking annoying with the range. He's a fucking dick to deal. He's a dickhead to deal with as well. He's just a lanky fucker at flyweight. It's really annoying. But is Josh Van going to be at much of a reach advantage here? Maybe, because Van's a pretty small guy. He's got a 15-centimeter reach disadvantage. So that's going to be like a 5-inch reach disadvantage. But I think Van can work past it. He's usually at a reach disadvantage in most of his fights. I think he'll lose the first round. He'll kind of just get held at range a bit. Maybe gets taken down. But his takedown defense against Johnson looked real solid. His takedown defense in a lot of his fights looked solid. He beat Zhargas Shumagulov. He beat Kevin Borjas. I think Kevin Borjas versus Shiras was a competitive fight. I was probably going to lean Shiras, but I think Shiras versus Van's just too good on the feet, and I don't think he gets taken down and submitted, and I don't think Shiras is going to KO him. But let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Mujeres el asa que no son buenas. Random women who aren't good is what I just said if you don't speak Spanish quite as good as me. But no, Yasmin Jauregui versus Ketlin Souza. This will be a decent fight, I guess. There's 3 women's MMA fights on this card. That's 2 too many. Arguably 3 too many, but Valentina's not a bad fight. And I won't complain about some Norma Jamont on the card. But in a 10-fight card, like if this was like a 14-fight card, 3 women's fights, sure. But like 30% of the card should not be women's MMA. But yeah, anyway, that's the position we're in. But Yasmin Jauregui should win this fight. I don't like her at that big of a favourite. Ketlin Souza's not terrible. She won her last fight, but Marnik Man's awful. Ketlin Souza, did she even finish Marnik Man as well? Because I know she got subbed early. No, she took Marnik Man to a decision. That's a terrible look. Marnik Man's 6-3. She's awful at fighting. Jauregui's not bad. She's not like a massive She's not a massive finisher, but she does shit right. Like, she's actually somewhat of a technical fighter. Souza, yeah, she lost to Corrine Silva, got subbed immediately. But apart from that, like, just wins on Invicta and shit against no ones. I don't know who these guys are. She lost to Ariane Canalosi. I know her. She's somewhat of a dude. But Jauregui was undefeated apart from that one loss to Denise Gomez, who's arguably a male. TKO against Estela Nunes. Decision over Yasmin Lucindo is a pretty good win to have in hindsight. That's aged pretty well. Sam Hughes decision. Like, she's not going to be finishing too many people. I'm picking her by decision here. Lucindo, though, since then, like, Lucindo's about to fight Marina Rodriguez. Lucindo is actually a pretty solid fighter. And that's like her only loss back until like 2019. And Lucindo's pretty young too. Also looks kind of like a boy. So that's a pretty good win to have on the resume. But yeah, I'll be picking Jauregui to win. She's a bit better. She's more technical. Probably better grappling, better striking. Again, women's MMA. Who gives a fuck? Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, we got a lanky fucking Chilean versus a Mexican. Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm going to be picking Manuel Torres. Now, this is one I've gone back and forth on because there is the potential that Bahamondes just shows up being really good and just kicks Torres in the head and KOs him, because sometimes he does that and sometimes he's shit and loses to John McDessie. So it's really unpredictable with Bahamondes. He's a young guy, and I think he's quite good, but I also think he's quite inconsistent. And I don't want to be picking someone who I know is inconsistent. Look, if I'm picking based off like maybe Bahamondes could show up at his best, then yeah, I think the best Bahamondes definitely beats the Torres that we've seen, who is a bit wild, very fucking open. He's 27, Bahamondes, like 5 losses though, 2 submissions back in the day, I think. But like Ludovic Klein lost, not bad, but again, he just bad fight IQ, forgot he had legs. John McDessie loss is awful look. Salvador Baccarat, who the fuck is that? That's out of the UFC, but like UFC wins wise, Roosevelt Roberts, Rongju, who we just saw, isn't very good. Trey Ogden wins not too bad. And then Yargos is an old man. Torres is... and a lot of those are by decision as well. Torres is just finishing guys. Duncan, KO. So Duncan submission in the first. Mota, KO in the first. Camacho, TKO in the first. And then on Contender Series, he also got a first round TKO. This guy's not seen a second round since 2018 when he took Enrique Gonzalez to a decision. He's been subbed twice with like a leg submission. I don't think that's that relevant to this fight. I don't think Bahamondes is going to be getting leg locks. But yeah, something to keep in mind if this guy ever fights like fucking Ryan Hall or Claudio Puellas, which is unlikely. But I do think he's very good, and I do think he's going to get the win here. I think he's just a bit too much for Bahamondes, who's able to kind of be bullied around a bit and pushed around and muscled around, because he's a bit of a lanky, Chilean, fucking skinny-framed boy at times. And so while he looks really good on the feet sometimes, he also just looks weak a lot of the time. Like, Klein just muscled him around, beat him up, and Klein even beat him up on the feet. And so if he just got taken down and wrestle fucked by Klein, I'd be like, alright, whatever. But like, you got boxed up by Klein, I think Torres can catch you with something, or he just takes you down and is too strong early, and I think Torres is going to get the win. Again, Mexicans for the win, not some fucking Chileans, budget, fucking South American, Spanish-speaking country. Like, no one even cares about Chile, bro. Mexico's where it's at. Mexico's where all the cocaine is coming from. I guess that's more Colombia, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Norma Dumont tiene un culo enorme. I said Norma Dumont has a massive ass in Spanish. But yeah, that's true. But the fight is Norma Dumont versus Irene Aldana. Now, if we picked WMMA based off who is more attractive, I would be picking Norma Dumont. But that's not how it works. That's the reverse of what you're supposed to do. And you should 90% of the time pick the less attractive woman, because she's got more to fight for in life, you know. If you're an attractive woman, most of them end up going the OnlyFans route in MMA. That's usually how it goes. So that's why I think Norma Dumont's got some good stuff going for her. She's definitely, I don't even know if she has one. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But regardless, she's definitely like happier in her life. She's probably not as motivated to like, fuck, I'm going to get down in the gym and scrap in the gym and spar and get beaten up and stuff. Like, Norma Dumont's probably not doing that as much. Norma Dumont's just using her incredible cake size to just out-grapple people and be too physical for them. But there's a good chance she does that with Aldana, because Aldana has been out-grappled before. It's happened very easily. Nunes did it. Nunes outstruck her too. Nunes did it. But even Aldana had success on the feet against Nunes, which is not something a lot of guys, or a lot of girls I should say, some of them are guys, but not something a lot of girls can say. But Nunes just kind of took her down, too physical, and I could see Norma Dumont doing that. But in her last fight against Jermaine Durandamy, fucking tongue twister of a name that is, she really did no damage. Like, she landed like 0 strikes, I swear. I actually want to look it up. Norma Dumont versus, let's take a quick look at the Instagram first. Very nice. Norma Dumont versus Jermaine Durandamy. I'm like pretty sure she landed like 0 strikes. Norma Dumont in that strike, she landed 11 significant strikes in the whole fight, got 6 takedowns. I didn't count 11, bro. I swear to God, she did nothing the whole time. But whatever, she just grappled her the whole time, laid on top. But Aldana is actually a good striker. Aldana's actually a capable striker, and she does damage to people, and she has KOs on her record. And when I see like legitimate KOs over UFC fighters, not just bums, on a record of a women's MMA fighter, I'm actually impressed. Now, Aldana does have some losses, but like, she's got 8 KO wins on her resume. The Carol Hoster fight was actually pretty impressive. Lost to Holly Holm was never a good look, but Holm is able to do that. Lost to Pennington's the current champion. Lost to Chikagian back in 2017. Like, who cares? But Norma Dumont, I haven't seen the level of wins that I would need to like be confident picking her. She's beat Durandamy. She beat Chelsea Chandler, who in hindsight is awful. She also beat Carol Hoster, fair play. She lost to Chiason. And then she got KO'd by Megan Anderson, which is interesting. But yeah, like Aspen Ladd, Felicia Spencer, Danielle Wolfe, none of these names stand out to me as much as Aldana did have a tough fight with Hossa, but she came back. She's tough as well, and Hossa's not bad. Like, Hossa's actually a fucking solid fighter. I think Hossa went on to get a win after that Aldana fight too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she beat Pani Kianzad. But yeah, whatever. I'm not trying to like fucking resume check and do MMA math with women's MMA, because they've all basically fought each other to a decision, so it doesn't really matter. But I just rate Aldana's finishing potential more. I rate her damage more that she can do on the feet, and I just don't think Jamont is that talented. She's got a great asset in the lower half, but don't know about her actual fighting assets. So let's move on to the next fight. Ode Osborne versus Ronaldo Rodriguez on the main card of a fucking pay-per-view. Pequeño Nino Mexicano. Fucking small little Mexican boy. Ronaldo Rodriguez. Why is he on the main card of a pay-per-view? Not sure. He's got one win in the UFC against Dennis Bonder, but I'm picking him to win because I don't trust Ode Osborne, who at this stage I think is thoroughly washed, in my opinion. But to say washed was like he was ever like not washed in the first place. Like, has Ode Osborne ever been good? He's only 32, but he's 12-7. That's what we're looking at here. His name's the Jamaican Sensation, bro. You're not sensationing anyone. Like, no one's sensationed by you, buddy. 4 submission losses on the record. Jafael Filo, Almabayev submission, got KO'd by Tyson Nam, split decision over Charles Johnson. Not a terrible look in hindsight. Beat some random guy, beat CJ Vergara, lost to Cap by KO. Not a terrible look. Lost to Kelleher by submission, which is a pretty bad look. So yeah, too many submissions, and Ronaldo Rodriguez gets submissions. He submits people. He's 16-2. I don't think he's that good, but he does have submission wins. He's got 5 on the record, 7 by KO, 3 by decision. TKO in his last fight before the UFC. Again, these are probably cans, but like Jerome Rivera on Contender Series back in 2020 ended up losing that one. But like he doesn't really get finished. His 2 losses, I think, are by decision. Yeah, both by decision. Ode Osborne, I don't know. I just don't think he's going to like take him down much. I don't think he's going to outstrike him. Ode Osborne's just not very good at anything. So I'm not going to pick him. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, we got another fucking Lanky. This might be the tallest Mexican in human history, standing at over 6 foot tall. What a fucking wonder of the world that is. I thought all of them were 5'6". But anyway, we got Daniel Zellhuber against Esteban Ribovic. I'm going to be picking Zellhuber. Now, I like Ribovic. I like Zellhuber too. Both of these guys I'm pretty high on. I think both of them are very solid, both potential ranked caliber in the future. But I think Zellhuber is a bit better at this point in his career. Now, to say this point in his career indicates he's some fucking entering his prime right now, I'm pretty sure the dude's fucking 35. Or 25, sorry, I should say. He's like 25 years old. He's only 15-1. He's got 1 loss on his record. Not a great loss that it is. He lost to Trey Ogden by decision, but like early in his career, it's fucking Trey Ogden. What are you going to do? Like, Trey Ogden just flukes some wins sometimes. He just gets wins. Ogden's just annoying like that. But yeah, 15-1, 7 wins by KO, 3 by decision. Oh, so 3 by submission, 5 by decision. Sub Diagos. He beat Prado by decision, but Prado's the fucking Argentinian Drew Dober, and he's not getting KO'd. Venada decision. Not the best look to be taking Lando Venada to a decision, but Venada's not bad. Lucas Almeida, like, he's going to some decisions, but I do still rate that he's not, like, relying on KOs as well. Like, he's going to decisions in the UFC and winning. It's not like he's been KOing bums on the regional scene, gets to the UFC, starts losing. He's in control of these fights, even the ones that are going to a decision. And he looked really good the last time he fought on the Noche card. Also on Grasso, when Grasso Shevchenko took place, and Saab Diagos with the Anaconda. He looked solid there. Ribovic, I think he's good, but I just don't think I rate McKinney that highly, and also it's like a flash KO. It's not like he thoroughly just outstruck McKinney, avoided all his damage, looked amazing. He just landed 1 big shot, got him. Fair enough, good win. But apart from that, like, he was getting outstruck and outgrappled for 2 rounds by Rajdabov, had a good 3rd round. Camuela Kirk decision was beating the fuck out of him for the 2nd and 3rd and couldn't get a finish. I don't know. I think Zellhuber's just a bit too rangy as well. Zellhuber's going to have a massive reach advantage here, I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up now. But yeah, Zellhuber's got the reach. He's got the control as well. He's not one of those guys that has reach and doesn't know how to fucking use it like John Jones, who, apart from eye-poking people, is getting bolo uppercutted by Dominic Reyes. But what are we looking at here? Zellhuber, he's got a 20-inch reach, and of course I know a 20-centimeter inch reach advantage, I should say, and I know how many inches 20 centimeters is because, you know, for reasons. So that's going to be a solid 7.5. I want to actually see if that's 7.5. It might be closer to 8. Let me see. 20 centimeter 2 inches. 7.8, yeah, that's what I'm working with, boys. Trust. No, but Zellhuber's going to have a massive reach advantage. He's going to know how to use it as well. It's not about the size, it's about how you use it, boys. And he's going to keep him at range. He's going to jab him up. He's going to tune him up with the length. And he's going to just beat him up, I think. And Ribovic will be tough. Maybe he'll kind of fight his way back into it later on. Or maybe he'll get finished. And I might actually go ahead and pick Zellhuber by TKO. I'll say Ribovic. That's a tough call to say because Ribovic's only losses by decision. And a lot of these South American guys have good chins. Prado's got a great chin. He's Argentinian. Maybe Ribovic carries that same durability. But I'm going to say Zellhuber shows out and gets a finish on the main card of the Mexico pay-per-view. Or the Sphere pay-per-view in the United States, which only has Mexican fighters on it. But anyway, let's move on to the next fight. We've got the Emo Kid versus the Eagle Maxa, Diego Lopez versus Brian Ortega. Sometimes, man, you just gotta fly up into the mountains. You gotta bang your beak against a rock. And you gotta go back down. And then that's when you regrow. And that's the rebirth of the eagle. Ortega versus Lopez. I'm picking Lopez by TKO. I think, look, the sensible pick would be decision. But I think Lopez is going to have a fucking really good performance and kind of silence a few of the doubters that are saying that he looked bad against Ige and that was a bad look to not finish Ige. Even though no one's ever finished Dan Ige. So, I don't know why people are shitting on Lopez for that. You couldn't... if it was fucking the Matt Schnell of, if you're a fighter and you don't finish Schnell, I get criticism. Short notice or not, in general. But short notice against Ige, and it's Ige stepped in, Ige had no prep. Lopez had no prep for fucking Ige, bro. He's preparing for Brian Ortega. He gets Ige. Ige's a more boxing-heavy guy. Solid takedown defense for the most part. Or maybe not really solid takedown defense, but, good boxing, great durability. Ortega, I actually don't think has got as good boxing at this stage as Ige, and also I think Ortega's less durable at this stage than Ige too. And so I think Lopez, some of the shots he was landing on Ige, I low-key think those might kind of wobble, they might wobble Ortega, they might kind of stumble him around and drop him, because we saw Yair put him down a couple of times in round one, 10-8'd him in round one, and then kind of just gassed out. And even if Lopez doesn't get that finish in round one, and Ortega is able to just durability max his way to a second round, I think he can stay in control for enough of that round to scrape the second. So I'm not... If it was 5 rounds and you were going to tell me Lopez doesn't finish him, I would be skeptical about picking Lopez by decision in a 5-round fight that goes all 5. But in this circumstance, even though I do think Lopez is going to get a finish in round 1 by TKO with an uppercut or something like that, drop him, finish him on the ground, and not be in danger of the submissions, because Yair went down with Ortega, went to try and fucking finish him, throw some ground and pound, some good ground and pound he threw, ref just didn't stop it, and then Ortega kind of just locked him up in the guard and worked some jiu-jitsu bullshit. I don't think that's going to work as easily on Lopez. I think Lopez is way stronger than Yair too, and so even if Ortega's desperately trying to fucking push his way back into a fight via grappling, I don't think he's going to chuck around Ortega. I think you have to be a really technical, high-level... Or chuck around Lopez, I should say. You got to be a really high-level technical wrestler, strong as well, like Movs are, to be able to do that. And I don't think that's Ortega at this stage. I still am not sure how much I rate him for getting a comeback win over Yair, who was just gassed as fuck at altitude. Lopez trains in Mexico permanently. He trains with those team, who's doing really well. And I think he's going to have a good show-out performance here and get a finish in front of the big crowd at the Sphere. And yeah, it's going to be a good win. I think he's going to get a bonus as well, and I think he's going to move into the top 5, and Ortega's going to go fly up into the mountains, and he's going to go bang his beak against a rock, and he's going to come back down, and he's going to get killed by Josh Emmett, guys. He's going to lose to Gene Silva. But yeah, that's what's going to happen, in my opinion. That is my prediction for this fight, but it's a good one. Ortega's got some decent striking, he's got some crafty striking, he's got some crafty grappling too, but I don't think he subs Lopez, and I don't think he's going to just dominate the second and third. Maybe he wins the third, but I think Lopez is going to beat the fuck out of him in the first 2. Let's move on though to the next round, or next fight, sorry. Next up, we got Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. I'm going to be picking, what's her fucking name? Grasso. I'll pick Grasso. Look, I think I picked Shevchenko in the first fight, obviously, as many people did. I picked Shevchenko in the rematch because it was close. I think she was a slight favourite, and I said I don't think Grasso is that amazing. I think she just got lucky, and I was wrong there. But they had a close fight, and I did think Shevchenko won that fight. I thought it was close, 3-2, and it should have been a 3-2 split decision to Shevchenko if that random judge hadn't given a fucking 10-8 round and made it a draw, which has got to be one of the most fucking retarded 10-8 rounds I've ever seen. She got a minute of ground control time with some ground and pound and a near submission. It's not like she dominated her for the whole time. She did fuck all. So yeah, in my opinion, Shevchenko arguably should have won that fight, but at this stage now, I think she's 36. She's getting way older. I think Grasso is going to be the one improving. I don't know how old Grasso is. I don't care to check. But, you know, she looks young enough to me, you know. But Shevchenko doesn't look young enough to me. Shevchenko is looking at, like, she's looking like one of those clapped chicks that you see on the fucking advertisement pop up on, like, VIP Box or, like, Stream East or some shit when you're trying to watch the fights illegally. And it's like, yeah, Valentina is fucking 20 kilometers away. Go say hi. Like, that's the kind of clapped fucking fake MILFs that you're seeing on those, like, illegal streaming websites. With all due respect, but I do think Grasso's going to win. I think she's better at this stage. I think she's got cleaner boxing. We saw it. She even dropped Valentina in the rematch. And so, yeah, I think she's going to do well here. I think her grappling's going to keep getting better, and she's going to keep preventing Shevchenko from being able to take her down as easily and control her for as long. And, yeah, I also think if it's going to go to a decision, who the fuck's going to win a robbery decision? Who's going to get the close rounds? Is it going to be Grasso, who's probably going to have the crowd cheering for her a little bit more? Or is it going to be Shevchenko, who's just going to be making weird grunting noises and squealing? I think it's going to be Grasso. I think she's going to get the close rounds. So even if it's kind of controversial, I think I'm backing her to get a decision. And that is backed up by what we saw in the second fight. Because, yeah, they give her close rounds. And I do think, yeah, she's even got the submission potential. We saw that in the first fight. She's got the striking. She's got the technical, like, she's got the knockdown ability. Saw that in the second fight. So, yeah, I think Grasso's going to win. It's close, and I understand why the odds are close, but I do give the lean to Grasso. Let's move on, though, to the main event. We have the main event. Imagine picking Merab. That would suck so bad. Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I'll pick you, Sean O'Malley. Chill out, bro. I'm not doubting you, buddy. O'Malley just needs to go on a fucking rant anytime he sees someone discredit him or not pick him in any way. Imagine not picking me in every single fight of my career, dude. That would suck so bad. But yeah, I'm going to pick O'Malley. I think he's way better. Originally, when this fight was kind of proposed, I was like, nah, bro. Merab ragdolls him. And then I was kind of thinking, like, even though he dominated Cejudo in the second and third, I don't like you getting dropped by midget fucking 5'2" Cejudo. Yeah, 5'4" at least. I don't like you getting dropped by Moraes even, who's good, but, like, why are you getting dropped by Marlon Moraes? Why are you getting dropped by Cejudo? Why are you looking, like, just really shit on the feet at times? And I know he's got good grappling, and there is a chance he just Bilal maxes his way to a win here, or just does what he did against Jan. That's a possibility, but I said this in my Best Strikers video, which I uploaded yesterday. Go check it out. And I said it as the reason why I have O'Malley as a better striker than Jan is because I think the finishing potential from O'Malley's higher. And I think I said we're going to see that with the Merab fight. We're going to see who Jan, which is not able to get going on the feet, was not able to get himself into the fight, compared to O'Malley, who I think is not even going to need to get himself into the fight. I think he's just going to KO Merab in either round 1 or 2. Maybe it's a round 2 situation like Aljo. Maybe he just fucking face plants him in round 1, which would be pretty crazy. But I am going to be picking O'Malley. Look, there is an off chance this ends up being just a fucking dead, like, point fest decision from O'Malley. But I think it's a pretty clear either O'Malley early KO or Merab dominant decision. I don't think Merab finishes anyone in the fucking UFC at all. He just doesn't do that. That's not what he does. So yeah, I'm going to be picking, unless it's a gassed out Moraes, but yeah, I'm going to be picking O'Malley. I think he's got the way better striking, clearly. He's got the countering ability. He's just so much quicker than Merab. And Merab does all this goofy shit, popping in and out, like, just doing a whole bunch of movements for the sake of doing a bunch of movements. Like, that's kind of what we see with Merab. And yeah, I don't think it's going to help him that much. I think he's going to look a bit mid, come out, but look a bit jitterish as well. Maybe he just goes out there like a bat out of hell and just pressures O'Malley. Maybe does the Khabib Conor type shit where he ends up fucking dropping him or something. Like, that'd be nuts. I don't even know if his arms can fucking reach that high though, little midget. But yeah, I'm going to be picking Merab to lose. Why am I saying? I'm picking O'Malley to win. He's too good on the feet, I think, and I even think his grappling's not bad, and his submission potential is actually solid as well. So if Merab shoots a shit takedown, sprinkle on O'Malley by sub, not a terrible idea. But yeah, he's got knees, he's got elbows, he's also got the potential to cheat, and he won't get punished for it. Whereas if Merab cheats, he will get punished for it. But yeah, you already know O'Malley can grab the gloves, he can grab the cage and stop a takedown. The ref will be like, hey, buddy, don't do that again, you fucking moron. And then O'Malley's like, sorry, man. And then Merab's just gonna, like, have a stroke and fucking run in like a retard and get flatlined. We're gonna have Tim Welch going, Merab, you gotta go. and then Merab's gonna go like, go where, and then just fucking runs forward into a right hand and gets slept. So I'm picking O'Malley by KO, like KO, not TKO. Like he's gonna flatline Merab. I do think that. Maybe like drop him really bad, like a, I mean, not like flatline, but like Conor versus Aldo type shit. I know I've compared the Conor Aldo to the Aljo thing, but that was way more follow-up. I think we're going to see this, like, puts him out, basically, lands a couple follow-ups, and it's done. It's maybe controversial with the stoppage, because I do think that if Merab gets rocked bad, they're definitely going to stop it early, and just give it the win to O'Malley. But, yeah, I think O'Malley's going to put him on a poster and get a highlight reel KO. But that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed full card predictions. Hope you enjoyed me español, no hablo inglés. And, yeah, let me know who your picks are in the comments. I might have just picked all favorites. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Who cares, though? We're trying to be right. We're not trying to fucking pick underdogs. But, yeah, Mexicans are going to have a good time here. I reckon they're going to get a lot of wins, apart from, hopefully, Josh Van is going to beat Edgar Shira's fucking dickhead. I don't know why it just annoys me to look at. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Drop more videos you guys want to see in the comments and I'll probably do them. But yeah, peace out, guys.